The headlines: a multi-million-dollar drugs haul off Carlisle Bay. PM Stuart sends Britain complaint letter on reparations. And Darian King looks ahead to a tough Davis Cup tie for Barbados. Welcome to Nation News for Thursday, March the 3rd, 2016. Thanks for joining us. Police are reporting a big drug bust at Carlisle Bay. They said 2 men were being questioned after the seizure of a boat and about $6 million worth of cocaine and $375,000 of cannabis. The cocaine weighing 122 kilograms and the marijuana 94 kilograms were confiscated during an early morning operation by the drug squad on Wednesday. As Barbados prepares to introduce mandatory fingerprinting at air and sea ports, an official of the U.S. Department of Homeland Security has said the more information a country receives about traveling passengers, the better. Stephen Redlinger, who works in the department's private sector office, declined to give a direct endorsement of the fingerprinting plan, saying it was not his place to speak on foreign countries' decisions. But he said more information on travelers means better security for U.S. citizens. He said he believed the use of iris and facial recognition technologies was also not too far down the road. Mr. Redlinger was speaking at the launch of the Travel and Tourism Committee of the American Chamber of Commerce for Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean. Prime Minister Stuart has sent a formal letter of complaint on behalf of CARICOM to the British Prime Minister David Cameron, outlining the case for the region for reparations for slavery. CARICOM Assistant Secretary General Douglas Slater said CARICOM intends to take the matter to the World Court if Britain does not respond within 2 years. Mr. Slater said that legal action is a last resort and that the grouping prefers a settlement. The letter sent by Mr. Stuart, the chairman of the CARICOM Subcommittee on Reparations, has not been released. The Water Authority is yet to say what concessions will be offered to businesses unhappy with its new hosepipe ban. Manager of Engineering Charles Marville said officials had not yet decided which businesses will get relief, and a news conference will be called when more is known. Fisherfolk, car valet owners and power washing operators have said a blanket ban on hoses would cripple their operations. Historian Trevor Marshall supports Barbados becoming a republic, saying it represents true independence. Speaking during a panel discussion at Ellerslie School, Mr. Marshall said the country had achieved constitutional decolonization but is still seeking sovereignty. He said one key indicator of this was the frequency with which employees published notices saying they can't find suitable local workers and intend to find non-nationals to fill advertised jobs.
And by the time that comes in the newspaper, the position is already filled by somebody who doesn't look like any of us in here. I don't know if becoming a republic will stop that exercise, but I think it would help some of us in the society to more clinically examine the anomalies in the society, right, and get rid of a number of those remaining lacunae, right, of our status with the gray areas of our status and our connection with Great Britain.
The National Union of Public Workers is likely to give word later on the next step in its airport pay dispute. Talks between the two sides broke down on Monday, forcing Chief Labour Officer Vincent Burnett to refer the matter to Labour Minister Senator Esther Bayer-Suckoo. Union officials were meeting to decide what to do next, and a decision is expected. Workers who belong to the union staged a protest march in January to press for a 3.5% increase they say was promised by airport authorities who dispute that claim. It will be a mixture of the cerebral and the carnival for the Cafil campus of the University of the West Indies as it joins with the nation to mark the 50th anniversary of independence in a big way. The campus has just rolled out its 12-month program, including special lectures, panel discussions, and research publications, as well as sport, the UWI Carnival, a heritage tour, and even a treasure hunt. Principal Eudine Barato said the campus will celebrate the contributions of UWI to the country's development and also acknowledge the contribution of the government and people to the sustainability and growth of the university. Sport now, the odds appear to be against Barbados in the Davis Cup Americas Group Zone 1 tie in Ecuador this weekend. Ecuador, you may remember, defeated Barbados 3-2 when the teams last met here at the National Tennis Center. And the South American side's favourite tag is enhanced by the fact that the tie from Friday to Sunday will be played on clay, not Barbados' best surface. This country's top-ranked player, Darian King, shared his thoughts ahead of the meeting.
This is our first time away in, I think, 2 years now. So, I mean, yeah, I've been working very hard. Ecuador team is really good. They have been in the World Group before, so, I mean, to come here, we just have to try our best.
There was intense competition at the Usain Bolt complex on Wednesday during the quarterfinals of the Primary Schools Track and Field Championships, better known as Knapsack. Let's take in some action now in the two heats of the under-13 100 metres. The girls' race was won by Kishana Smith of Arthur Smith Primary and the boys by Achilles Brown of St. Stephen's.
Kishana Smith, Arthur Smith Primary, Kishana Smith, she's going to win this now. Looking good, crossing the line first. Looks like second place.
The Knapsack semi-finals will be held at the Usain Bolt complex on Wednesday. And finally, a man has been charged in the United States with advertising for the identities of children he could claim as dependents on his taxes. The U.S. Attorney's Office in Missouri says 37-year-old Raheem McLean was charged in a 3-count indictment. It alleges that he was behind a January 2015 posting on Craigslist that said, "If you have some kids that you aren't claiming, I will pay you $750 each to claim them on my income tax." No one wants to pay taxes. And that's Nation News for Thursday. For more news, log on to nationnews.com and follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And remember to pick up your Weekend Nation on Friday or subscribe to our e-paper.